Gives me great pleasure to introduce the chaps as ever for the Sussex by the Sea roundtable. So we have Malcolm, daddy of Craig. I play through the pain barrier stone. John Windygale. We've got Linda during the week, but we all know him as Matt, the band man. We've got Andy. It could be long and black, but it isn't. It's flat white. And
my stage name.
Yeah, the stage name. Leon, who, as we all know, works for Bezos. And of course, at the bottom there, with a magnificent syrup on his head, is John Wells. So, hello, gentlemen. Have we had a good week?
Good evening.
A lovely week.
Lovely week. Good. Yeah. Right. So, Hastings had a lovely weekend. And Monday, if we're going to count yesterday as well. Magnificent weekend, all round, men's and women's. Most of us made it to the East Grinstead game, and it was a cakewalk. Obviously, a few nerves beforehand, but a great win that was in the bag within 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think it was everything we expect from Hastings, to be fair. It was an away day that was more claret and blue than anything else. They took over. The fans behind the goal were mega loud. Football was comfortable, wasn't it? 4-0. I think the second half we had another 3 or 4 chances that could have gone in. East Grinstead didn't really trouble us. And I think beforehand, I know obviously when you get close, you sort of have that nervous bit, didn't you, a little bit? But I don't think anyone ever really doubted it was in danger of not winning. I think for East Grinstead as well, if you said to them beforehand, would you take a point, a 0-0 shitty game or something, they would have said, yeah, definitely. It's not a game that we're going to look for points, is it?
No. Well, I'd have to say, going there, I was a little bit nervous. I don't know why. Maybe it was just the whole occasion. I thought, just worried how we were going to start. But just from the start, we absolutely dominated it. I mean, Malcolm explained it more when Malcolm said about, obviously, Craig having the tooth abscess and he was taking a load of painkillers and things. And I was like, oh, Christ, this is just set up for Craig to take out Finn, Amara, and then their forwards clean through because Craig's don't know who he's playing for now, but he was absolutely magnificent. And that sliding challenge he made at 1-0 was brilliant. And if maybe they'd have put that away, could have been a different game. Probably wouldn't have been, but just all round great game. Anyone else wants to chip in?
But they say abscess makes the heart grow fonder, don't they?
So I'm getting it.
Why did you ring him?
Oh, dear.
My daughter's broken my kazoo, so that's just that gimmick's gone out the window.
Your kids, mate.
I'll tell you, mate. Yeah.
He lives
the
at
practice
a
is
shoe.
I might as well do. The practice is nice, but then the reality. Anyway, right. So where are we?
You want to get a dog? They're trainable.
Yeah.
Hey, we could go there.
I wonder you're on the gin, mate.
No, this is sparkling water, mate.
Okay.
Oh, sparkling.
Yeah. With a bit of lime in.
La-di-da. Look at you.
Well, hang on, don't you goat sledge, Waller. Don't you start. Yeah? Fucking goat sledge.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I haven't been to Heist yet. I'm not rich enough.
Yeah.
Low
gazers.
Right. Well, sorry about that. So after you said that, Wills, do you want to go from there? Have you got anything interesting to say?
Well, I wasn't at the match.
But were you listening to the wonderful commentary from a slightly biased Mr. Carter?
It was good, yeah. It was really good. The commentary was, especially like has been said, when the news came through that Chichester had equalised at Ashford. That was great.
That was just nuts, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Is there anybody there who hasn't heard it?
I listened to he put up a clip, didn't he, of when
Yeah.
when he said he scored, and I I was sat on the toilet and nearly dropped my phone. It was that loud.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's very, very funny because the Hastings game became so certain that I said to you, Chris, didn't I? I was ghoulishly watching the Ashford game on Twitter because you just sort of knew it was going to happen. And they put it up after 94 minutes, and there was just a single tweet underneath saying, "Fuck's sake." And it just sort of summed the whole thing up, really. And it was, despite the 4 goals, for me, watching from afar, it was the best moment of the afternoon.
I think the only way that could have been bettered if the goal had been an own goal by Cisse. He'd come off the bench for Ashford.
He must have been thinking, the last time I was here.
Yeah.
Apparently, he gave away the corner for their goal.
Don't tell me that. Don't really.
Night. Apparently so. Yeah, I don't know if that was.
He doesn't stop long anywhere.
Painter and decorator.
No, he don't.
He was at Merchant, wasn't he, in between Hastings and Ashford? I don't know if he'd been anywhere else as well, but Jesus. He moves quick, doesn't he?
He should be playing for Sittingbourne, really.
Nah.
Free.
He owes them some, doesn't he? Yeah.
It does, yeah.
For free.
But yeah, getting to the game, I mean, obviously, like the goals, Sammy Lamb's got a cracker. Sam Hasler got a good one. I mean, and Danny Parish really kicked in and was causing havoc, wasn't he? I mean, he was, it's the best game I've seen him play in up to now. So,
yeah.
I think both of those two up front, if you're a defender to play against them, it's probably a nightmare because you sort of got the best of both, haven't you? Like, Ben's very industrious and he's quite strong and hard, isn't he? And Danny's very quick. And I think if you were a centre-back up against them, you get a rough afternoon, didn't you?
God, yeah.
Yeah, you're always going to feel the Pope's tackle, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, you said that, Matt. You said that.
Oh, dear.
No, they couldn't handle them, could they? Especially Danny. Like his goals, he just showed his class. Like to finish at that, you could argue the keeper shouldn't have been beaten at the near post, but it was good. A good finish from him, and then that flick for his second goal. Just quality, showed his class.
Well, the goalie was obviously weighed down by the community tag. Wearing. Again, I'll shout out CJ as I did when I was talking to Henning before. Let's say CJ, great spot. It spotted that the goalie was wearing a tag. And this has been confirmed. This is photo evidence as well of this. And he's sort of good sport, wasn't he, the goalie?
Yeah, no, he took it all well, to be fair to him. I would have been too scared to give him too much shit in case he stabbed me or something. He did look the sort.
Do bear in mind, in gangland, revenge is best served cold. So I'll keep looking over your shoulders.
But I did get brave enough and piped up and asked if he can do away games with his tag.
Yeah.
He probably can't do evening matches.
No, actually, I was looking through their program notes. Like, they put like the team sheets of previous games, and the last one he missed was actually a Tuesday game.
Yeah. He's probably on curfew from
yeah.
They don't have ball and chain anymore.
No, that's marriage, isn't it?
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, so we're not in the 70s and 80s anymore, are we? So, right.
But I mean, just thinking about it, really. What your comments to Hastings Borough Council, Chris, and what others have said, really, that some will try and take the game away from its roots, won't they? It means so much to a lot of people, and it is basically something that who was it that said that the working class is their game, really? But I think that shows it, doesn't it? Where you've got a keeper there with a leg tag on, and he feels
that's the criminal class, not the working class, mate.
Yeah, see, he could actually be an accountant.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's been tagged for tax fraud, John. So
Do you think so? I stand corrected.
It was the bloke that sold Sam Labatt that ticket. That's what it is.
Maybe he's a racing pigeon at night. And that's his tag.
This is getting surreal now.
Yes.
It could be a bizarre form of heart rate monitor. Some, they're everywhere, aren't they? These things. So.
Yeah, you've got to have your internal organs a bit out of place, though, haven't you? Really, if it's shocking your heart down there.
I think it was his Fitbit. He's not allowed to wear it on his wrist, being a goalkeeper. So he put his Fitbit on his foot.
That's what I meant when I said heart rate monitor, something like that. Yeah,
didn't look like one.
Yeah.
Well, don't kill it, Malcolm. Yeah, go with the flow. Yeah, don't.
He didn't look a criminal though, did he? He was a nice chap.
That's the ones, that's the ones to be wary of, Malcolm.
Yeah.
He was eyeing up the fake money.
Well, yeah, that was it. Another thing
he printed it.
Fake
Apparently.
Look that.
I would also say that wearing a Fitbit down your socks is far more embarrassing than having a blinking security tag on you, frankly. I think I'd rather have a tag.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, just because rival fans were saying that we're like Man City and all this sort of thing. So some of us did bring lots and lots of fake £20 notes, and we did throw them in the air when we scored. I
was going to say.
Sorry, one sec. Matt was going to try and buy Zambucas with them. I don't know if he tried in the end or not.
Yeah.
I was going to say, with Andy's new nickname, we don't want to know what he tucks down his socks.
Oh, was that the idea behind the money? I did wonder.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. They were saying that we were money bags and that we got. Yeah, and anyway, it was just. It was funny at the time.
Banter, isn't it?
And any excuse for a bit of a gimmick, you know what I mean?
When we went to Ashford, they were saying the only way we're doing so well is that we bought all the best players, we buy our way in, and there was people just saying that, oh, you're just the Man City of the league, you know, and so I think that's where some of it came from as well, isn't it?
Bit ironic, seeing as Ashford have got the likes of Franny Collin and a couple of others that aren't going to be cheap by a long shot.
Exactly.
Next season, all they can get is Joan Collins.
Is Jackie Collins still going?
Yeah, she's out on the wing.
Oh, she. All right. Talking about being on the wing, I know when I was talking with Henning, he reckons that he can play, and Gary Elphick needs to check him. He needs to check him. He plays down William Parker. Just quick, you know.
Does he?
Yeah, so maybe Malcolm. Malcolm, the players' thoughts. What did they think after the game? And your own, obviously.
Well, Craig didn't really say a lot because of his mouth, but he did say that one of the players said very, very early on that they were quite happy with a 5-0. Well, they didn't want the 5-0. So anything less than that, they were happy. They knew they were going to lose, and they were quite happy with that.
Open bookmaking going on then, yeah? So they'll take the 4.
They'd take the 4. They didn't want the 5.
I had 6-0 on that bloody Super 6. If I not find out that there's some Indian gambling going on here.
Yeah, it was never going to be that many.
Yeah.
If you'd let me know, I would have said so, you know. But yeah, it was quite an easy game, wasn't it? Apart from, like you say, when Craig tried to have a bit of fun with Finney. But other than that, they didn't really pose any problems at all, did they? It was, and I personally, I think it was the best away game, close to home games as well, that I've been to this season. The game was over in 25 minutes. Yeah. You know, it was 3, and then it was just like damage limitation from them. And it was just enjoyable in the sun with the crowd. I mean, it seemed more like a home game than a home game, you know. And I think the way the ground was situated as well, with just that amount of fans in there, it seemed like the noise and the atmosphere was doubled out. I don't know what it sounded like on the commentary, but You know, it was
loud.
It was loud all game. It was, but that was more, I think, because of the way the ground was sort of in a dip and everything was around it, and it just echoed, and the atmosphere was great. So
that Leon.
Enjoyed it.
That Leon singing, that's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what it was, yeah.
Even on the commentary, though,
Voice of an angel.
There was two early goals, weren't there?
What, Annie Lennox?
There was two
Hell's Angel.
Quite early goals, weren't there?
Yeah. They were 3-0 up in 20 minutes, weren't they?
I was listening to the commentary and my doorbell rang about 2 minutes after kick-off. I came back up, we were 2-0 up.
Yeah.
I missed the second goal. I saw the first goal and then I thought, I'll nip for a wee now while they're kicking off. And by the time I come back, it was 2-0. And I was in the toilet and heard a cheer. I thought, there's got to be a goal to us being that loud. Yeah. And then I come out, 2-0. And I just about got behind the goal again to see the third one. So it was all that quick.
It's very dominant, very dominant.
But it should have been 8, shouldn't it? I mean, when you think Ben went through one-on-one and he could have squared it to Danny, but he clipped the goalkeeper's shoulder, wasn't it? And it went wide. Danny skewed one when he was one-on-one. It could have been 8, really.
So who was man of the match then, would you say?
Danny, I would say just. But I thought TC had a great game.
Yeah.
I thought Nori had a good game. I think you could have picked 4 or 5 out of that.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought at points TC was taking the piss. Like he was just going through people and just kept going, getting those balls in the box and that. And it was just like, oh my God, like it just.
Yeah, it was only his attacking really that I sort of mentioned him, because none of the defenders would be anywhere near man of the match because they didn't have an awful lot to do. And to be fair, not many of the midfielders, they battled, won the ball back, and it was just back on the attack. But it was they didn't have too much to do really. It was just sort of playing the ball around, there could have been 4 or 5, but they would all attack, all for their attacking.
Yeah, and it was a great win, and then afterwards, obviously, some great scenes. I was there for a little while, but then I know that a lot of the chaps went in the bar. There was lots of sing songs. I don't know if any of you guys in the back. Well, Malcolm, you'd have been in there, wouldn't you?
I was in there. Yeah, I was in there till the end.
So tell us, because I didn't actually go in. But I mean, I was singing outside, but the stuff inside, a lot of it's been caught on camera. I mean, tell us about it.
It was great in there, it was. And you just want me to harp on about the home games where no one comes in. How come they come in on away games and sing like that? But it was all the players joined in. They loved it. So it was, and in fact, the East Grinstead were only saying, how great it was. Really, they never get that, and they never have anyone stay afterwards. They don't stay or anything. And it was great for them. So it really was a good evening, or a good couple of hours anyway.
Yeah.
What I did notice actually was when I was singing outside, was that a couple of the older boys were joining in as well, people that wouldn't normally. I
saw that.
So it was good stuff. It was good.
I saw that on the videos. Nice.
There was quite a few there that I'd never even seen before. So even before the game, there was groups of guys coming in that I thought I've never even seen your face. So it was.
Those Glory fans, Malcolm. Glory fans.
That's what it is. Yeah, it's getting the rough end of it, and it's getting right near the end.
I think Tim had his coach there, didn't he?
Yeah.
And they don't go all the games. I don't think, not all of them.
They got kicked out of the local Weatherspoons, didn't they?
I don't know. I'm frightened to phone Tim to find out.
It was just for singing. It weren't anything. They're obviously not used to it in East Grinstead, are they? Because I was talking to him before the game. He said they literally had about 3 people in the Spoons there, and then the coach load then turn up. All that money behind the bar for what's his name? Tim Martin. Is it Tim Martin on Spoons? Whatever his name is, I think they started singing, didn't they? And the manager in there didn't like it, so I was all right. Then we'll go to the football then.
That must have been that group of them. There's about 15 coming at about sort of 2:15 that you. I think I actually said, "Oh, they must have been down the local spoons." Before that. But, yeah.
Does anyone know what happened to Billy after the game? I happened to be walking past the tunnel and he's coming back out from the change rooms with his pristine white shirt covered in all sorts of stains, and he looked a bit his hair looked a bit ruffled. I don't know if the players got a hold of him or anyone knows the story there.
I haven't heard, Leon.
No, birthday bumps probably.
It was his birthday, wasn't it? So
yeah.
Might have copped for something.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
what a boost for their clubhouse side to have that many people in there, like, you know, the atmosphere and buying drinks. And, you know, you look through the away games and most teams, their best gate is when Hastings are away. And it's great that we do it at home, but we take that kind of, you know, it's a financial input for all those teams as well, isn't it? Who get a good home game out of us.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, this is a club that I spoke to, said that we would be bringing people, you know, for this non-league day stuff. You know, I won't go through the drama again about it, but like, you know, it's there that, as you just said, Matt, it's, you know, they're going to be making money. They could, you know, lay a few things on, make a special day out of it. And well, we still, all of the fans still, you know, in good humour as well. There weren't no problems, you know, so that's good.
I think there are a few other non-league clubs that do after club events, like sounds like we're about to do, a few bands playing and stuff like that. And yeah, that drums up a little bit of extra interest for people to stay, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I have to be honest with you, John. I mean, if we win the league, I don't know anyone's going to be listening to the band, though. That's the problem.
No, they need to have it out on the pitch and have a festival. The whole festival.
Yeah.
Get Matt, you can get your band down there, can you?
Absolutely, yeah. You know.
There you go, see.
Because when do you do it? That's the thing. I know they're doing it at every home game from starting this week. But it could be a little bit, you know, you get a band on and you get a large crowd and all that, and God forbid we lose and Ashford win and all that, and then it goes on to
that's the only
an
problem.
Away game, doesn't it? It's
I actually know the two guys that are playing on Saturday, called the Diamond Brothers. They're a bit of a laugh. I've tipped them off a bit about making sure that they play the right stuff, because it could go down the wrong way.
Play some experimental Bob Dylan.
Yeah. Well,
you want him to play the classics, and Bob's up on stage like, "No, this is a new one, guys." Yeah.
God, can you imagine?
Hey, blowing in the wind. Oh, fuck off.
I think they're actually going to be trying to learn Sussex by the Sea, Bad Manners version, Chris.
Yeah, thank you.
So we'll be seeing that, but yeah.
I thought that I heard that doing a bit of scratching as well, but that was more to do with their medical conditions.
Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah.
No. What's obviously, if you know them, yeah. What type of band? Because all I've seen is a picture.
They do a lot of cover versions of sort of a bit of punk, sort of, but not. They don't sound too bad. They're just a bit of a laugh.
You're not building them up. No, you need to build them up a bit here, John. They're not too bad. I mean, like, come on.
No, well, you've got one.
You're sending them out to the slaughter.
There's a guy on guitar and a guy who sings along with him, and they're just fun. That's all it is. They do cover versions of various stuff, Who, all that sort of stuff, 60s stuff, and a bit of punk, and they don't take themselves seriously, and it's just, and there's always something happens. So you'll see.
All right. Yeah.
Which is good, because that's what you want, a bit of something for everyone, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
You know.
Yeah. Except Pete Heritage, you won't be able to cope with it.
No.
Actually, I was talking to Pete Heritage. He or messaged him, and he actually knows their singer, who's Wally. His name's Wally, and they're both they're both nuts. But Wally actually makes Pete Heritage seem like Professor Chris Whitty or someone like that. It could be interesting.
What, are we going to have Pete on the mic as well? Blimey.
Well, that might. Yeah, you never know. Mind you, it'll be Peter. He changed his name to Gabriel.
Gabriel or Bit Genesis.
Yeah.
As long as it's not like I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles or anything like that, we'd have that microphone off him then.
Oh, God. Well, they probably would.
Acid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember that? Acid? No,
Yeah.
anyone remember that? Late 80s. Who's old enough? Leon, you're not old enough.
I'm old enough.
You're
Born
old
in
enough.
1990.
Yeah.
Year of the Guru, mate.
At least you've all.
Year of the Guru.
Make you feel.
I told you, Chris, I was so screaming at that podcast last week because I wasn't on it, wasn't I?
Yeah.
When you was talking about the YMCA and the missing one.
Yeah.
I was going, the gay postman, because it was for Leon.
It just so happens.
And then I suddenly remembered I wasn't actually on it. I was just
Yeah.
listening to it. Brilliant.
Right, and let's move on from that great victory to the fantastic under-23s victory. I know that's obviously we're recording Tuesday. It was on Monday. They've sewn up the league. They've already sewn up the cup. A fantastic 3-0 win against Cray. James Hull was all over Cray. He was an absolute monster.
We'll let him off the clogs now, I think.
Ever.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think so.
Do under-23 goals count though, Leon? Because I thought it was.
No, I'm still not letting him off.
No, thank you. Well done.
Nah.
No, I think it can't. That will never die. Yeah, great win, comfortable win in the end. Anyone want to? Andy, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I mean it's league. James playing for that team is now legalised bullying, isn't it? Really, his sort of yeah. He did take a few. He did take a bit of punishment actually, though, didn't he? So
kicking lumps out of him.
So there were a couple of whacks where you could actually hear the kid kick him. You know, it was so he did stand up to quite a bit of treatment, and it was they are really good, those kids. It has, and you know, they're just I think they're just the other teams, even though Cray weren't half bad actually. That's two very good players. The number 7 and the little curly-haired bloke who had his socks down.
The perm man.
He was good, wasn't he? But they look like very good young players, whereas the Hastings team, even though they're young, they have this sort of maturity about them and the pattern to the way they play. And even though at times, I suppose second half, it was almost like a copy of the first team, the way they were sitting on it, but suddenly they'd break out into 2 or 3 beautiful passages of passing play that just sort of tore the game apart when they got going, and it was it's just so enjoyable to watch them. I must admit, really, there was nearly 200 people there, wasn't there, which is always good.
Well, that's good. I was just going to ask what the crowd was.
190 something. So yeah, they deserve that really as well, because they are a good watch, and you can see I think I might have said this before, you can see the blueprint there. And 2 or 3 of those, I mean, they're all so good, but 2 or 3 of those players are just outstanding. And I don't think Jack Bates was playing, was he? So they had no Bates, but still the midfield is just super smooth.
Freddie Legg played.
Yeah, Freddie Legg played, and you know, he just played like he does. He's just so quick and so decisive. Yeah. And that Kian Moynes, who scored the second goal, he's a good player as well. And he's sort of so deceptive because he's not a quick mover, but you try getting the ball off him. It's a bit of a shame, really, because we're singling out people who we've begun to know. It'd be nice we need to know more about that team. They need more publicity. We've said, Chris and I were
moan of the week, definitely. We're nicking your moan of the week, Malcolm.
I was going to say, like, there was no team sheet, was there?
Yeah.
At the game. So if you don't know, obviously we recognise the lads that have had a bit of first team experience, and was probably even 1 or 2 that have that I still wouldn't recognise. But yeah, just like a basic team sheet. I mean, like on the Twitter feeds, there was no team sheet on there, was there? And it weren't until you saw who scored that you was like, oh, it was.
So we've actually talked about this a couple of times now, isn't it? And we definitely need to twist some arms, and we thought we could definitely even volunteer between us just to read out a bloody team sheet, because somebody nipped up and opened the booth up to put on "We Are the Champions" in true cliched style when the final whistle went. So I'm sure they could have opened it up for somebody to announce the teams. How hard they work publicising things and that. I think those lads deserve a lot more publicity because they are good, and also it's for all the money bags taunts. That's a group of mainly local lads as well, isn't it? You know, and they're all, you know, that's not a bought-in team. That's a team made of local lads, and you know, we've produced Tom Chalmers out of that. We're just about to see James Hull has graduated this year. Bates is on his way. I mean, Bates and Legg play for the bloody England under-18s, for God's sake.
They combined to they made one of the goals together, didn't they? I think Legg scored and an assist by Bates. So there you go.
Yeah.
Well, it was like during the game, Chris Agata was there, and I'm had a little chat with him, and I'm like, oh, why are you here, Chris? Like, and he's like, oh, well, my boy's playing, and he's like, because his boy's number 10 for Hastings. Because I had no idea. I'm like, oh, sorry, mate, I don't even know the team, you know. But yeah.
You could tell some of the lads have benefited from having that bit of senior football. Like the other team really couldn't handle James Hull, could they?
No.
Really, he bullied him for most of the game. And like Kieran Moynes got mentioned. I think I saw him play for Little Common last season. I was like chatting to his dad. I think he's played, Little Common, maybe one or two other sort of senior teams. So yeah, you know, massively benefits these lads getting a bit of first team football, whether it be at Hastings or out on loan for one of the other local teams.
And it's something we've talked about briefly again. That getting them senior football. That's the thing for the 20-year-olds, isn't it? Getting them that breakthrough into senior football, so that we don't. There are plenty of teams that would like some of those players. So that the trick is always getting them the exposure that means they stay. You know, as long as they see people like Tom and see people like James and when Freddie's played for the first team and Jack Bates, as long as they see those players going through into the first team, it gives them an incentive, doesn't it? And that's the most important thing with that lot, because that's a really good resource there, you know, for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Well, may you know, should we go up as champions with a few games left, maybe there'll be opportunities there with the.
I was going to say that, Wills.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, good point. And would you believe they've got a Champion of Champions game, which I couldn't resist. When I heard about it, I looked it up. They play a Champion of Champions game against the winners of the Northern Development League.
All right. When's that?
That's not until May the 9th, would you believe? So they've got to sit around till May the 9th waiting for that.
Well, where's that going to be then?
It's at Aveley, of all places.
Aveley?
Who I believe we have a bit of history with them, don't we? During was it FA Cup or FA Vase or Trophy shenanigans? Some shenanigans around that fixture, wasn't there?
Bloody Aveley. That was another one I interviewed and they turned on us. But anyway, go on.
Yeah, I think their first team are top of the league, aren't they? Aveley first team. I think their first team are top of their league, like the Ryman, whatever it is now, Isthmian North League. So I think if they go up, then they'll be in the Prem as well next season.
That's interesting.
Oh, tasty.
Yeah. Crunch.
Their website seemed to be far more interested in the wedding venue than it was the football team. Seemed to be the more successful side of their venture.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Leon. They are top. They're only by 2 points, so they might not win the league yet. But
right then, quite nice, by the way. I know at the end the under-23s all came over, clapped us all in for the fans that were there. I know they're all very appreciative, obviously, and James Hull always gives us all the shout out. He's good for the banter. Let's move on to the potential we're going to win the league on, which is Haywards Heath. So it won't be a pushover, but all we need is a draw now, I believe.
Yeah.
Pending goal difference, yeah.
Yeah. So
they have been a bit of a bogey sided for us in the past, but I still think we're going to do it this time.
I think we will, yeah, with a big crowd.
Yeah.
Interestingly, Haywards Heath, the only team we've played this season that we haven't scored against, and that includes our cup run as well.
Yeah, it's true.
Their recent record, their last 8 or 9 played, they've won 4 and lost 4, and they're like Spurs, they win, lose. They won last time, so they're due a loss. 9 on the bounce.
I'd like to hear that, Matt.
So,
yeah.
Gotta be.
Useful stats.
useful stats.
Malcolm?
Well, yeah, to be fair, after saying I think Saturday's game was my favourite and probably the best one, I think Haywards Heath away was probably the lowest I've been at football for a long time. It was freezing cold. It was
fucking horribly cold, wasn't it?
Oh, that was freezing. And it was...
Wayne was in the shorts. I remember Wayne being in the shorts, though. Sorry, Malcolm.
God, I had about 8 layers on and I was still cold. So, and yeah, it was probably the worst game this season and worst for a long time I've been to. It was...
It weren't a day for playing football, though, was it? It was like -2, wasn't it, with the wind chill? I can't imagine the boys on the pitch were enjoying it anymore.
Oh, it was Finney's first game for us.
I was going to say, was this where the defenders had a bit of a mare? Yeah.
Yeah, I think Craig and Finney, it bounced over between them and over the top. And it was just a poor game all round, I think. I'm a bit more nervous this week than I was last week. I agree with Matt. I think that it's what with the crowd and that. I think it's going to be this week that they crown champions.
Be quite nice if it was 0-0 and in the last minute Kenny Pogue scores because he used to play for them for a bit.
I think it'd be quite a cagey affair, I reckon. Mm-hmm. Just because of the occasion, it normally is quite tense. I can imagine it being quite a tense occasion.
Have they got anything to play for, Leon?
Yeah,
they're hanging around the playoffs, aren't they?
Oh,
yeah. They're 3-4 points clear, though, aren't they, in the playoffs?
They're playing. They're playing for positions, though, aren't they?
Yeah, home advantage in the playoffs, isn't it?
Yeah.
Also with them, they've got the lowest goal difference of all those teams in that hunting pack as well. So every point is sort of extra important for them.
I think they've got a couple of quick wingers and they are a quick fullback, from what I remember. I'm not sure they like our big pitch at the pilot field, though, because theirs was quite small with a bit of a slope on it as well. So, yeah, I'm not sure they'll like our big pitch and our passing range. I'm not sure about that. But, yeah, I'm confident, especially with a big crowd. But
surely they've got the dilemma, haven't they, Malcolm? They've got to think about how they play. I mean, the nice thing for Hastings is those guys now know, surely they just need to know, they know what they need to do and they know how to do it and they've done it, and if they just do what they do, they should win. That's they don't have to think about it too hard, do they?
No, the difficult part about it when they come to play Hastings is that you can't come there to win.
Yeah.
And that's their problem, I think. They want to win, but if they come to win, we'll pick them off.
Yeah.
So I think they're coming for a draw. If they get a win, all well and good, but a draw they'll be happy with. It's a point more than they expect to get. They can't come there, I don't think, and think, well, we're going there for 3 points.
I just think they'll just have to. I think they're the ones who've got to think about how to play. We just have to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I think this is a Dicko goal game. This one, I feel.
Yeah.
Crucial.
2-1 is my prediction.
2-0.
I think the biggest factor is if it doesn't go blazing away in the first 25 minutes is just for everybody to keep their nerve, and that includes us.
Yeah.
You don't want that. That I think all of us are long enough in the tooth to have seen amateur and pro games where that anxiety transmits itself onto the pitch, and that's the thing you don't want. Exactly. Just patience.
I just think with everything being so comfortable here, it is comfortable. 14 points clear?
Yeah.
And the way the lads that have been playing, even when they've not been great, they've been solid, they've been organised. Then there's going to be no silliness, I don't think. I think so. I hear your point.
I think for once, all the pressure's on them, isn't it?
Yeah,
they've got you've got 5 teams going for 4 playoff places. One of them's going to be disappointed. They've got to keep picking up points. They know that they're under a lot of pressure. I still think it'd be quite interesting. What do you reckon the chances are of Ashford not making the playoffs? I think that would be amazing. Although I'm a bit torn really, because part of me wants to have that huge rival game next season and Ashford to go up. There's that other side that says, wouldn't it be funny if they didn't even make the playoffs?
What is the rivalry with Ashford? I mean, obviously, me being a newish comer to Hastings, but
it's fairly new, actually.
You're not close, are you? I mean, one's Kent, one's Sussex. What's it all about? Is it
I think
historical games?
In the recent history, in what sort of post Agatha, they've always been a team that we've just never quite got the better of.
Yeah,
right. They've always since Hastings turned the corner. There's always been Ashford, and it's only this season we've really got the better of them.
Yeah.
Am I right in thinking that sort of 3 seasons ago we had them in the playoff and they scored like a 119th minute winner or something?
Yeah.
That
was from a penalty, I think, wasn't it?
We wouldn't have gone up that season anyway, was we? That's when the FA balls it all up, didn't they?
Yeah,
it was only Horsham that could go up, and they did.
Yeah,
so, when they used to have fans as well. Do you remember a couple of seasons ago? They absolutely packed. They brought loads of fans, and there was a great atmosphere. There was a bit of trouble in that game, I think. Didn't they have inflatables or something?
Yeah.
That wasn't that. Oh, that was with the blow up women. Yeah.
Went into the crowd, didn't they? And there was a lot of trouble with that. But it was a real. They seemed like a big club. They seemed like they had supporters at the time. And there was a rival. There was a good rivalry there. I think that was the game you kind of looked forward to, and I suppose it still is. Really, it's just it is a shame for them. Where for a team that's done relatively well for a few seasons, and they're pulling in crowds of 300. I suppose it shows how special it is what we've got. They are our big rivals. Do you remember years ago it used to be Maidstone, was it?
Crawley.
I remember Barnet at one point, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's just your air, mate.
Tunbridge.
Well, next season it can be Lewis.
Yeah.
They're near the playoffs, aren't they?
They are actually, yeah.
I don't want them to go up.
I know, no offence to them, but I want them to stay in that league. So it's a cracking away day. Brilliant little town.
Nice little pub around the corner.
There was loads of nice pubs in and around Lewis, so all quite close. Be a good one to go to.
Yeah, you think of the really nice names the sponsors give the Premiership football grounds. You can tell it's non-league when you go somewhere and it's called the Dripping Pan. Lewis.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Henning.
Oh yeah.
And well done. That's the 3rd German you've had on in recent weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, he was saying that it was fake news. There wasn't these Germans, and I'm telling him there is.
Robert and Herr Flick.
Herr Flick. I mean,
so there you go.
He was really good, and he's going to be there Saturday. So,
it's the Darren Burney interview.
Darren Burney couldn't happen this afternoon. I'm going to try and do it on Friday, but I don't think he's going to be free. He's going to have to wait till next week. So that's on me. That it's just family stuff going on, and
blame the kids again.
Fuck it, I'll tell you what. No bloody sympathy.
I'll go get my violin.
He's got to change a nappy on Friday. So
we started off with kids
priority failure.
I'll tell you what. Yeah, when Leon has kids, let's just see. We'll be very sympathetic, won't we, gents?
I'm not going to have 20
but us older members, we've all been there.
Yeah.
More kids than clambers.
Oh, Jesus. Right. Listen, on that note, a big thank you to Malcolm, Windy John, Andy, Leon, Johnny Wills, and of course, Matt. Thanks for coming on, chaps. And I shall see you at the game. And it's going to be the one that's going to win the league.
Let's hope so, mate.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Take care, fellas.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys. See you later.